Hello, everyone. Welcome to Frank in Action YouTube channel. This is Frank again. This is Teacher Frank, and in this video, we'll be talking about the third phase of conducting daily news. This is a supplementary guides for our co-teachers and also for our students on how you are going to participate, on how you're going to conduct the lessons through the Native Camp Daily News. This is one of the considered advanced lessons that Native Camp is offering for our students. And I think this time our participants or our aspirants are introduced with this new textbook as their demo materials. And I think it would be very beneficial if you're going to watch this video so I could be able to give you my own perspective and also my feedback or pieces of feedback that I will be providing to you after the sharing of the video. So, of course, guys, please take note. All right, thank you so much. Please make sure to be guided to that warning. All right. So this again, this is Teacher Frank and saying thank you so much for staying in this video. In a short while, I will be giving you another what do you call this one? Feedback or tips on how you're going to conduct daily news. Of course, we will be talking about the third phase of doing the um, daily news, and that would be the listen to the article segment of doing daily news. Please watch this.
Native Camp. This is the tutorial video which will show you how to teach daily news textbook. You are now in the Listen to the Article section, the third step in handling daily news textbook. There are 2 points that you should remember for this section. First, checking the purpose of this section, and second, knowing how to proceed with this section. Let's begin with the first point. The Listen to the Article is the main part of the daily news textbook that includes the topic source for the whole lesson and develops all the other activities. You will see the article and listen to the audio of the lesson in this part with the student.
All right. So for me, it's very vital and very important that you also, as a teacher, listen when you click the audio button. And that's actually next to the title. So I think you cannot see the pointer here in your end. So just make sure to check the title, and that would be on the right hand side of the title. You can click that one. So once you are listening to this one, try to observe also if the student were able to hear it. If the student is showing their camera, make sure to watch their reaction if they were able to hear it. You don't have to ask, did you hear it? Because you might disturb your students listening. Again, this is a very vital part of the daily news. They have to be able to hear it, to hear the audio, and disturbing them by asking them if they were able to hear it, that's not really a good way for you to check if they were able to hear it. Well, try to focus in listening, and also try to focus your eyes to the reaction of the student. You will be able to have a clear or clarity of that by just looking at their um facial reaction. If they're going to listen, if they were able to hear it, you can see that they were able to hear it. And if they are not able to hear it, they will have the facial expression that notifies us that they cannot hear the audio. So of course, if this happened, try to click the refresh button or the reconnect button. It is actually next to the switch camera button. So you can see the microphone, the switch camera, and then that's the reconnect button. So doing the hard refresh of the page is not really what I call this one, a good idea to do so. Why? Because sometimes that's the main reason why you will be able to disconnect the whole lesson, and perhaps if you are doing sudden lesson, the student will not be able to come back to your lesson. That's what I noticed also. So I tried to avoid that one and just click on the reconnect button. If in any case I need to tell the student to I will be doing a hard reset of our platform so I could be able to make sure if we can um, resolve the issue of you not hearing the audio. So please make sure to stay on the line. Don't do anything. I will be just clicking this one, and it will take maybe less than a minute for me to go back to the platform. So please stay. So I have to make sure that the student were able to, what do you call this one? To understand my action, my troubleshooting steps, so that the student will not be what I call this one, disconnect the lesson, and perhaps it will be considered as, disconnected, and you will get your cancellation penalties. So I would highly suggest, do not click the refresh button. The hard refresh button of the website is actually on the upper right, left hand of the of the website. If you're using Mac, I'm not sure if you're how you're gonna refresh it using Windows. Maybe it's on the right hand, but it's actually the what I call this one, counterclockwise arrow button. So do not do that. It must be the last option for you to do when troubleshooting. When you already finished clicking the reconnect button on the platform next to the switch camera and it still doesn't work, that's the only time you're going to do that. But again, make sure to inform the student of your action so that they will not be disconnecting the lesson. And if it's a sudden lesson, there's a chance that there will be another student who will be taking your lesson, and it's not a good uh total experience for your students end. So again, that's the thing. But when that happened and you already finish doing that and still doesn't resolve the issue, what I do is I try to, what I call this one, educate my student that we, since that's the only thing that we have to do when it comes to troubleshooting, and sometimes it happened in the platform, I will ask the student if is it okay that I will be the one to read the article. There are also some cases that the student would ask you if it's okay that he or she will be the one to read this article. Well, what I do before I say it's okay, I'm gonna do that, but I will be informing my student also that since this happened, this article, this part or this segment of this article or this textbook is to check your listening skills. So I would highly suggest that you're just gonna listen. If the student would say it's okay, I understand, but I just want to have a longer time for the discussion, and I just want to read it right away. Anyway, the audio system is not working well. So is it okay? So if the student would insist, then I will allow my student to do it. Okay. Now going back, this part is the vital part of the daily news. It is very important that the student is informed that the audio or the listening part is very vital in answering the next part, which is, answering questions related to the article. Okay, so you have to educate your student. Make sure that they can follow the steps. They can follow your purpose of conducting the lesson. All right, so let's continue.
When you finish reading the questions in listening focus, proceed to the listening of the audio of the article by saying, "Great! Now let's listen to the audio. It starts now." And then click the audio button found in the textbook.
Now, let's listen to the audio. It starts now.
Okay.
How the Japanese refused to slow down with age.
All right. So this might happen also during your lesson. Most of the time, based on my experience, the audio and your audio, upon listening to this article and the student's audio is not synchronized. Okay. So this is actually normal. It depends on your interconnection, the ping of your internet connection. So this might happen. So just allow that to happen until you were able to check that the student is able to finish listening to the audio. Okay.
Japan's senior citizens, those aged 65 and above, account for more than 28% of its population. And for the elders of Japan, age is just a number.
Listen carefully to the audio with the student.
All right. So it's very important that you also listen to the audio, okay? Because most of the time, if we do sudden lesson, we don't have so much time to review what we're gonna teach to our student. So this is the only way we could be able to understand what we are about to discuss all throughout the lesson. So it is important that not only the student, but also you as a teacher will put your 100% focus in listening to the audio. Okay?
No need to keep smiling while listening to the audio, but avoid frowning as well, because this would make the student feel uncomfortable.
Well, for me, this part, I would disagree with this. Okay. So for me, smiling is my only way of making my student relax. It depends on how you smile, of course, not so creepy, but I actually smile. Like, for example, when I was listening to the audio or to this video, I'm smiling. And that's actually the least that I can do to make my student feel that, I'm not also so serious. I mean, I don't show my face with a serious face. It gives, what do I call this one, I can ripple that kind of energy to my student by showing positive vibe all throughout the lesson. But of course my smile would be controllable, not the creepy one. All right, so smiling for me is actually not weird. What's weird is when you smile because you don't understand. All right. So smiling is free, and I think it's better to smile all throughout the lesson. Okay.
Avoid doing unnecessary things such as looking around, talking to other people, or using your phone.
All right. So during the listening part, of course, the teacher and the student are listening during this part. And what I do, I mean, not what I do, not intentionally, but most of the time, while I'm listening, every time there are some statements that the audio is telling during this part, I actually nod. mm, mm, like that. So I'm actually giving my abstract reaction through my facial expression. So sometimes I make sounds like like that. So those are what I call this one confirmation, affirmation that not only the student is listening, but also you, the teacher, is listening in this part. Of course, stop doing anything. Typing would be okay. For example, if you want to put emphasis of the word, you can type those in the chat box. Make use of the chat box while listening, and that would be great. As long as while you're typing, the student is also seeing that there's something popping on their chat. So try to click enter in the chat box each word that you hear that need to be practiced or need to be emphasized. Okay, you don't have to review that one after listening, but what I do is sometimes I type those, so to put some, what do you call this one, emphasis of the word, and perhaps I could be able to use them in reviewing 5 minutes before the lesson ends, right?
When the audio is still going. After listening to the audio of the article, continue by saying, "Well done!" This time, let's proceed to answer the questions.
All right. So during this part, I don't usually say well done. Okay. Not because I disagree with this part, but I don't find it very effective because the student is just listening and I there's no reason for me to say well done. So all right. So what I do is thank you for listening to that audio. So I actually give more emphasis of, you know, being grateful that you listen to the audio instead of saying well done. I just say thank you, Thank you is much. If you have any comments on what to say during this part, please comment below.
Thank you for watching the video. Let's continue to learn about the textbooks and have better lessons.
All right. So that's actually the main part of this textbook, and I think it's very vital for our students and also teachers to know what ways or what kind of approach you should do to make your student feel not monotonous, or not to make your talking monotonous, or your conducting or your approach monotonous. Okay, so those are my ways, and I hope you were able to get some pieces of advice and information, data that you could be able to apply in your lesson also. So if you have any questions, guys, please make sure to sorry, please make sure to comment those in the comment section below. And if you're not yet subscribed in this YouTube channel, make sure to click the subscribe button and also the ring bell button so you will be notified in my next video. Please take note, guys, that this will be the third phase for daily news lesson. So next time I will be uploading the next phase, the fourth phase of this textbook daily news. So after that, I will be giving a holistic feedback of how you're going to conduct the daily news. So this would be a very great episode here in my YouTube channel. And after that, also please take note, I will be giving you uh a free what do you call this one? I will be checking all the comment section, and I will be answering some questions. I think I already received some questions about appreciation coins. Some of them are not receiving any coins, some of them got. So we will be talking about that one and discuss what happened after the debut of the appreciation coins, what happened actually. And yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. This is Teacher Frank again, and see you in my next episode about daily news, the answering questions, and also the discussion part. Okay, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.